Arrington-Bey. It is August the 8th, 2020. I'm changing my, I just got off work and I had, this is my sports bra. I wear this a lot. So, and anyway, I want to do a quick video because I'm studying thoughts. When I speak about the United States Navy and Army, and the military, I'm referring to those that have not taken an oath or affirmed to uphold constitutional law. According to the 13th Amendment, 20 sections, all four of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations, and the U.S.A. Constitution of 1787. That's what I'm referring to. So what I want to do right now is give you, because I'm going to change my Twitter page, and I'm giving testimony according to Revelation chapter 12, verse 11 and 12. It's my sports bra. I wear this out sometimes when I'm sunbathing. So anyway, and I'm have on my beads. So what I want to talk to you about is thought. We are among experiments. But let me give you an example of how aggressive those that have the science of telepathy are in these experiments. These experiments that we are among, that are able to control technology with their mind, they keep it or they just mix them up with something else, a dog, an ape, but they're outside of constitutional law. So I'm going to start off with the Black Negro, or the African American community. Okay, now Imani Gray-Bey and I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey, as Moorish Americans, we don't know anyone personally here in Annapolis, Maryland. We are, as Moorish Americans, we affirm to uphold constitutional law, the 13th Amendment, 20 sections, and all four of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations. But I want to give you a testimony of how aggressive those that and they obviously are being controlled, because once again, I didn't know. And when I say aggressive, literally like a beast or animal. This Black Negro male that's unclean in spirit, and female. Okay, and so now, and this is so you have those that's in that community that are able to control technology. For instance, my tablet. I can't tell you how many times I have to turn off the phone. Imani and I at American Extended Stay, because the phone and the tablet start going off. And somebody, a Black Negro, a female, acts it around the room saying, "I love you," like a beast, literally like a beast or animal. The predominantly most of my dreams that have been manipulated has always been a Black Negro or female trying to connect and communicate. Now this is technology, so when you have that code of telepathy and you abusing it, so you're trying to slave breed. You yourself is not considered human. You're not considered human. You are property. Okay? Not only because of status, because you didn't take an oath or affirm to uphold constitutional law, but also because of your chemistry. Because they have mixed and did all types of experiments with the DNA. So it's not only that you're not considered human according to constitutional law, you property. And not only that, government see you as treat you as an animal, a beast, and this is literally how they behave. But you are mixed with such things, Islam, and so we know that the tablet exudes some form of radiation, and we know that the cell phones exude some form of radiation. We know that the African American Black Negro community has a high rate of venereal diseases, along with the Spanish speaking community. It could be from Mexico, El Salvador, the Spanish speaking. Now, so they have a high rate of venereal diseases, viruses, and now that we have understanding of the experiments that were purposely done and set free in the population to breed radiation. So, and then the pale skin now community is right behind it, no doubt about that, because I see the experiments walking around me all the time. Okay, so I wanted to give you an example of how aggressive this Black Negro that is unclean in spirit, these experiments are. All right, so if you yourself is not you could be under the status of Black Negro, African American, but you're not unclean in spirit, you're not an experiment, then I'm not talking about you. But you know, Imani, you know Dwayne Bey and my Moorish American Nation family, you know exactly who and what we are talking about. Okay? And I didn't know that such species of a beast exist. Islam. I had no idea that a species of a beast exists until I thought about it in New York. I said possibly. But when I came to Annapolis, that's when I knew. Because it was obvious something was wrong. Something was wrong with the state of mind and how some, not all, of the black Negro that look to be black Negro, African American, male and female behave, and hearing them speak around the room like they're stalking, and they have the code of telepathy that Imani Great-Bey and I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey, reject. And obviously was distributed in the population by military. And they could be the Navy, the Army, in the United States jurisdiction, or their government that have not taken an oath or affirmed to uphold constitutional law. So because we know that there are scientists in the military. So not only the scientists are not all from this landmass. They come from all over. They could be from China, they could be from India. Scientists come from all over. So it's obviously they're giving the people this code of telepathy. And not only did they give it to them, they have created experiments. They give it to the fetus of the baby. Some of the babies are born with it. What is in the code? What DNA? What did they put in the code? And so what I noticed is not many people seem to think about or speak about a lot about constitutional law. So here I am as a Moorish American. I'm going to try to back up. As a Moorish American who have affirmed to uphold constitutional law, I'm healthy. Imani is healthy. We believe in natural healing. We don't. When we uphold our Moorish American flag, which is a 5-pointed green star in the middle. It has a 5-pointed green star that represents love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Those 5 points, those divine principles, we try to uphold. So we're not going to go out and try to rape and molest or stalk. So let me really speak about how aggressive this species of black Negro, female and male, are. Okay, and not only that, it's obviously they have a high rate of sir, hold on, a blackie just now talking to me. What did you want, sir? You wanted to use a chair? Oh, okay, never mind. He wanted to use a chair. Okay. So let me explain to you how aggressive this black Negro or African American species is that's in that community. So we already know they have a high rate of venereal disease. That's herpes, venereal diseases, whatever. I told you how I was at Burger King and Khalid Muhammad, he's a co-worker. Now he was speaking about how Annapolis had a high rate of herpes, right? So, me, myself, I've been checked for herpes. But I remember I kept feeling dis-ease at certain times around my menstrual. Now, these people that have the code of telepathy, they sit here. I was not diagnosed. I've been checked for herpes several times. I wasn't diagnosed. But there are spirits that can engage if you're not eating right, if you're not taking care of yourself, if your blood is acidic, and they can activate those viruses and that disease in those cells that can cause you to be sick. Not only that, if you are engaging with them mentally and spiritually and they are infected, all right, they are infected, you too will be and could be infected. So getting back to that community, the African American community, that's not, because as we know as Moorish Americans, African American, Negro, Black, that those are terms that means that you haven't claimed a nationality. So when you start calling yourself African American, you saying I haven't taken an oath or affirm to uphold constitutional law. Usually that's the case. So that means you haven't been naturalized. So you are no different than the Mexican that haven't been naturalized, than the African American, than the someone from El Salvador that haven't been naturalized. You are no different from the pale skin, because pale skin is not a nationality. So you have not been naturalized. So you are operating on this land under a foreign jurisdiction. So if you have not been naturalized, that means you are not considered a part of the human family in government's eyes. Then that is for a reason. Islam. So, and not only if you're not considered human, okay? If you're not considered human, I'm sorry, there's two other black Negro males to the left of me. There's one here, and then there's another one over there. They came out of nowhere. Then you might behave as such, okay? So, getting back to the point. So, when I first came to Annapolis, I told you, a black Negro stalked me. I was walking to work. I never thought it was a difference, not difference, but I thought there could possibly be something different, but I didn't know how many. I didn't know the mass. Because see, one of the things about those that are these experiments, they like to try to make one, like there's a group, they call them the people. They call them the people. They try to make them look like that they are different than an average black or African American male or female. Okay? So when I first came to Annapolis, I think I was already here for maybe 3 months, 4 months. I don't know. I can't remember. I wrote it. I had documented. The black Negro was following me to work, and I didn't know. I was new to Annapolis, and so then I'm giving you a description of how aggressive, like a beast, they are. So I'm walking to work early in the morning. Don't know anyone except for the Moors that I still stay in contact with today, and it kept. Here I am walking. It actually moved its truck, or drove its truck next to me. Okay. Next to me, and kept saying good morning, like I had better say good morning to it. I'm calling it because we among experiments. All right. Now, if you are not an experiment and you understand as a black Negro or African American, then I'm not talking about you. But Dwayne Baffle-Bey, we are among experiments with the code of telepathy. All right. There's nothing galactic. There's nothing cosmic. There's nothing special about them. They are literally laboratory experiments. Okay. So it kept driving close to me saying good morning. So as this black Negro kept saying good morning, I said, I said, sir, don't talk to me. I kept walking. All right. And then it got out the car. No, I didn't say don't talk to me. I stayed quiet. It parked this car next to me, this truck, and got out and stood in front of me as though I had better speak to it. I just kept walking. I had to call the cops and make a report. Just Thursday, this past Thursday, it's August the 8th, 2020, the black Negro male, again, I just walked in American Extended Stay, like an animal, okay? Because exactly, when you're dealing with an experiment, not only they're animals, but also, and this is not male, you also, if the males are this way, then the females are 10 times worse. Islam. So, he kept saying, he asked me a question. I walked in American Extended Stay to pay my rent. To go, I had just been walking, got off work, I'm tired. He stood behind me, and he was like, ma'am, can I ask you a question? I said, no, you cannot. And I would continue to talk to him. He kept saying, ma'am, I want to ask you a question. I looked at the clerk. I forgot his name, but I'll get his name. I said, sir, didn't you just hear me tell this male that that he cannot ask me a question? And he said, yeah, I heard. He nodded. He said, yes. And then the black male kept talking as though okay. So anyway, this black male, because if they that aggressive, that's why they have no problem say rape. Let me try to rape and molest. Let me take it, okay? So he kept trying to talk to me in front of the clerk, okay? Now, if you are civilized natural being, okay? If you're civilized, if a woman tells you she does not want to, you cannot ask her a question, you say, okay, no problem. You don't want to talk to me? No problem. That's any civilized, natural being. But when you are mixed with an ape, a dog, whatever it takes for you to control technology, then you are a beast or an animal of some sort. So you don't get it. Okay? So your mind, and you're getting downloads, the government is using you as that, an animal, a beast, to spread viruses, spread diseases, radiation. Then you literally do not understand how you should not rape, how you should not molest, how you should not stalk, how if a woman of any nationality, I'm Moorish American. It could be a woman that's Anglo-Saxon. It could be from Ireland. It could be any woman from any nationality. She could be from South America. She could be from Africa. If she tells a black Negro male that she don't want to talk to it, that's enough for the black Negro male to walk away and respect her rights. That doesn't mean you keep forcing yourself upon a woman who obviously have told you in English that you can understand, because if you can ask her a question, that means you can speak English. Okay, that means you can comprehend what she said. That doesn't. So any woman that tells a black Negro, all right, whether it's a beast or not a beast, that she doesn't want to answer a question, she don't want to speak to it, that is enough for the black Negro male to walk away. All right, so some Moors call them blackies. Now, I was wondering why some Moors called this species blackies, because the Moors knew that they had did experiments, and that's exactly what the government had them classified as animals, classified and identified as an animal and a beast. So some of them are called blackies. Now, if you're not one of these blackies, then you're not. Then obviously we as Moors not talking about you. But you can tell by their behavior. If you are one of the personalities of one of these beast animals, is they will stalk. They will stalk. They will try to rape you in your dreams because they have the call of telepathy. And then after they rape you, if you don't know what's going on, so you have say the first time it happened, you have an orgasm, or you just haven't controlled, you haven't learned how to control your genitals. They take that and start saying how they F-U-C-K you, and you liked it, and they sending telepathic messages to you saying she liked it, or we're gonna rape her son, we're gonna take her son, we're gonna take it from him. And this is not just the males, but also the black and Negro females too. Now that's an animal, that's a beast. And so this is what the governments have them classified and identified as. So one of the things so when I was I didn't realize that the Navy was only like approximately about 2 miles behind Burger King, because I remember the first time my genitals were attacked when I first came to Annapolis. It was like maybe 2 or 3 months behind, 2 or 3 months after being here in Annapolis. Never had it happen before. I came into Burger King, one of the black Negroes that would sit there. I don't know if he claimed a nationality or not. I have no idea. I don't know much about him. But as description, he'll be African American or black Negro. One of the ones that sat at the main table, the regular table, where most of them drove SUVs that have military symbols, whether it's the Army, the Navy. Sometimes they would wear the symbols that said Army and Navy on their clothes or what have you. So I didn't understand why they would go there and sit there for hours at a time, almost every day of the week. But as Moorish Americans, we were taught to respect the military, because they're supposed to have been naturalized to uphold constitutional law and defend the Constitution, and also protect the true American citizens of this landmass. We're not supposed to be worrying about them abusing technology, stalking, looking at a woman, because military officers looking at a woman, getting wanting to rape her, trying to flirt. If they can't flirt, then they'll start using psychological warfare to do until they are able to approach her, and it's okay, and they don't feel like she's gonna reject the engagement. Okay, so we're not supposed to feel that way. We shouldn't have to feel that way. Now, I remember. So, when my genitals were attacked, I went to work, and as soon as I opened the door, one of the black Negro males that were regular opened the door and said, "Someone got off last night." Now, I was so surprised to hear him say that as soon as I opened the door early in the morning, going to work. But that's exactly what he said at Burger King. And he one of the ones that would sit there for hours at a time. And he, black male over 40 years old. So getting back to Khalid Muhammad saying, Annapolis had a high rate of herpes, not AIDS, but herpes. And he was just talking about like it was normal. Like it was like this is something normal for people to have, and to have venereal diseases. Like this is hey, they were just having a conversation about it. I started to feel my ankle, pain around my ankle. And I said ouch, and I wasn't in the conversation. He thought I was after I said ouch. And he said, "What did you say, Rhonda? Did you say something?" He got like he was all excited about something. And I said, "I felt a sharp pain as you said the word herpes." And he started to try to include me in the conversation. I said, "I'm not in that conversation." Now, if a person has herpes, gonorrhea, AIDS, HIV, that doesn't make them less of a human being. But a civilized mind, okay, would not. For me, this is my choice. I would not want to have sex with someone that has herpes, gonorrhea, chlamydia, who is a experiment and spread diseases on radiation. They can control technology with their mind. I wouldn't dare do it, because that is not only affecting my spirituality and who I am, but also my ancestors. It's going against the covenant of Allah. Okay, and that's what Imani Bey knows as well. He would not marry or deal with any such species in that matter. Okay, that is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. Okay, I'm not saying those that have diseases are disgraced, but that which is an experiment and that deliberately try to spread the disease is a disgrace. Okay, or viruses or radiation, because they're able to control the technology. These are experiments. That is a disgrace, a disgrace to creation, Islam. Okay, now, so let me continue. So it was like, now after I stopped posting the video about me giving testimony, every time I walk from Burger King or walk away, I start at that same ankle that Khalid was speaking about. I thought that I felt a sharp pain that day when Khalid spoke about herpes. I still feel sharp pain, and it's like these spirits are or whatever is sending me sharp pains there. It's like hey, she didn't want to talk to the black brother. They keep saying brother around American Extended Stay, like they're trying to program them. Too many times I documented. Like, so it's like I'm going to continue to send sharp pains to this her left foot, her ankle, to break her down, to slave breed her with a brother, or these experiments that are diseased, infested with disease or in radiation, until she breaks down and be willing to the engagement of a black Negro, male and female. Now that's sick, but it's real. Okay, once again, the community of the African American community has the highest rate of venereal diseases, the highest rate of viruses, and now that we know we are among experiments, you best believe they have the highest rate of radiation. Now, if someone told me, once again, I don't want to have nothing to do with you, a civilized mind would walk away. So that's the end of that part of the conversation. Let me continue. Most of the times, Dwayne Byfield Bay, when I experience sharp pains, I'm 9 times out of 10 experiencing sharp pains from those that definitely imply to be black, Negro, or African American. It is no doubt in my mind. They usually saying brother. The American Extended Stay attack it like they're begging somebody, like an animal outside around the room, begging, saying I love you. He loves peace. They keep saying literally like an animal. Like I said, the telepathic code, that they distribute we don't know what they put in it. Okay, we have no idea, but it's definitely a science. So they go around. So at American Extended Stay, so many times they're saying, brother, I love you. A female saying he loves her with a Negro black accent. My tablet, I have to turn it off, turn it back on. Then what else? He loves peace. They sold you. Whatever they can say to normalize its presence around American Extended Stay and in and close our room. Now, if you in constitutional law, you know, if a woman says if a woman doesn't know you or a man doesn't know you, what makes you think it's all right to be around her room or his room or their children's room, looking at them as they take showers, as they sit on a toilet stool to have a poop, as they sleep? What makes you think it's okay for that to happen? Unless you yourself is a beast or an animal, you're a beast or an animal, and you don't understand the most civilized thought is that you should not behave as a beast, an animal, and stalk someone outside around their room who do not know you. Okay? So what else have I noticed? These spirits that have the code of telepathy that obviously the government and the military distribute to the population, they can engage and invade your sheath. So what they do, let me start with the thoughts. Many times, Dwayne Baffert Bey, hold on one moment. Dwayne Baffert Bey, let me finish my conversation, okay? Because I had to hold my camera up to take a deep breath. That's what I do. I take a deep breath, especially if for other reasons, because anyway, I had to hold my breath to take a deep breath. So one of the things that I noticed that the black Negro male and female do. So what they rely on, because they're not these are unclean spirits that are not in a constitutional fold. They know that they are being slave bred. Annapolis has a port. Okay, it is a port that's where there's ships that come in from, and I was told that that's where they used to bring the slaves in Annapolis. All right, so when they brought the slaves in from that area, I was told, I have to look it up. When they brought the black Negro slaves in that area, it's about 20 minutes from here. Okay, now that was just the beginning. Another thing that I wanted to say, Maryland itself was known for buck breaking, and that means also sleeping, having the males, the black male men and women sleep with their kids or have sex with their kids to breed. That's what they did with these slaves. So when those slaves came in from that port that's 20 minutes away from here, they would also break them. And what they would do is what they have documented is put something over their head, and then they would bring one of their children to them and actually make them have sex with their own children or kids. And so the mother would get pregnant, the sister get pregnant, the daughter get pregnant, whatever, then they would have more slaves. Okay, Maryland is documented to be one of the states that did this heavily. It wasn't the only state, but Maryland did it heavily. So that was an experiment. And so that form of experiments and those descendants still exist to this day. So if you're not in constitutional law, Islam, if you're not in constitutional law, then you don't understand how you is you are supposed to respect somebody's freedom, someone's freedom. If you yourself is known and seen as a slave, you are known and seen as a slave, a black buck, a beast, an animal, you cannot comprehend freedom. You don't understand someone's rights and freedom. All you can do is think about how you got to breed and amalgamate, and how you should be able to behave in your beast manner. Okay? And so that's another personality of what Morris would call the black Negro, the blackie. That's a personality, that's a characteristic. Okay? Let me think of something else that I realized. One of the things that the black Negro unclean spirits that are unclean in spirit also do is they will try to force, they will definitely keep sending mental thoughts. Like I said, invade the dreams. Over 99.9% of my dreams invaded have been from that black Negro, male and female. There's been, and I would say 95, and then it would be the Spanish speaking, but definitely the Spanish speaking accent is always outside and around the room. Then it would be pale skin, okay? But all of them are connected because you're dealing with a species of being, and usually a lot of them are yelling 3, the number 3 a lot, like an animal, okay? So they would try to send telepathic messages forcefully. So what I noticed that the United States military can do is replay old memories, old thoughts. So old memories of your childhood, old memories of what you might have been embarrassed of. All these things they do to order to bring you down. And so those that have the telepathic code, okay, who are able to tune in or are engaging mentally, they see what the United States military and Navy, the Army, is doing forcefully, okay? Forcefully, these are the military forces that have not taken an oath or affirmed to uphold constitutional law. And then they start saying, come down. She need to come down. So that is a way to amalgamate a natural being with a beast or animal, slave breed, with something that's not like them, okay? So I noticed this happen too many times. So if a black Negro, male or female, that beast, okay, is engaging or seeing what's going on, and they replaying different thoughts, then they be like, they actually think they know you. They have the right. They have the right to stalk your room. They have the right to watch you take a shower. They have the right to watch your son take a shower, to watch you sit on a toilet stool and take a poop. And they're around the corner jacking off and having an orgasm. Literally going around the corner, jacking off, having an orgasm like an animal, a beast. That's how sick and uncivilized they are. So let me continue to give testimony. So many times I see visuals that the United States military is doing. So they're abusing that form of technology. They're abusing it, and then of telepathy, and they are engaging and showing visuals, or actually, first, if I think of something, or if I say something about, if I think of a thought, or I give a testimony about a thought, they can replay my voice constantly, mentally, over and over and over again. And what that can do is cause mental dis-ease. Not only that, they can send visuals of what you just saw. For instance, I'm looking at myself right now. They can send a visual of myself mentally, okay? So why would they be doing such things? What is the purpose? I don't have the code of telepathy. I don't send sharp pains to nobody, because in minor grade hyphen, we don't have the code of telepathy. So we're not able to send sharp pains to anyone. So we're not able to help the hospitals keep patients, all right? So if we're not able to help the hospitals keep patients flowing back and forth, because we're not sending sharp pains, we're not causing mental dis-ease, we're not attacking someone's genitals, if we are healthy and we're not trying to cause harm to the population, why would the United States military, the Navy, and Army, and corrupt orders of the police, or those that have that not authority but that technology to do such things? Why? Because they are trying to keep a flow of patients in the hospital. They are trying to amalgamate and those that are natural, divine, and healthy with something that is unclean, filthy, and demonic. And not only that, some of them probably are lusting after us that are in the military and the police. And when they realize that there's no way in the world she will look at it in a certain manner, because they themselves are experiments, then they'll start doing other different psychological war tactics to try to bring to attack the mind. Let me think of something else I realized. A lot of times I notice that the pale skin, let me go down a little bit. Okay, so let me continue. Actually, I want to finish. I remember when you spoke about energy. You were telling us about energy, and you spoke about how energy flows. So, why would the United States Navy and Army perform such brutal tactics on an individual? Why? Another thing I noticed that they are able to do, for instance, like the pale skin. Usually someone is outside and around the room. Now I notice there are trucks and cars outside and around the room with the word Navy outside at American Extended Stay. For instance, when a black Negro male, this has happened to me too many times. Usually, like if I'm about to get off work, there's no customers, I'm the only cashier, they might come into Burger King, right? Instead of them just ordering their food and leaving, they will literally sit there and try to have a conversation with me. Like I'm supposed to better have a conversation. And then if I do not, I just keep it strictly business. A pale skin might be next to or around outside. And this is what I'm not accusing, but I'm giving testimony. And I'll start feeling a tinkling sensation close to my anus or in my vagina. Because they are able to engage and send, like they are able to send 4 sharp pains. The pale skin would send a tinkling sensation to my anus, because they imply that they're doing it, or my vagina. So, and once again, this is another form to break down and try to cause someone to amalgamate a slave breed. I'm not accusing, but this is what this is what I've experienced. And I say pale skin because too many times it has happened. And the pale skin imply I could be outside walking, whatever. It doesn't always have to be at Burger King. I'm just giving you an example because it has happened at Burger King, and this is spiritually and mentally. This is what they do to try to force amalgamate natural, clean, divine spirits with diseased, unclean spirits. Now, diseased, okay? You know they're diseased because I know they're diseased, because when I would feel disease, I thought when I don't feel the disease anymore, but when I felt disease or whatever, you would think that would be enough. But then all of a sudden I notice people start talking about herpes. When I feel disease in my vagina or whatever, I don't feel it no more. I don't experience these things no more. But when I did, I was wondering why the black Negro male and female and Spanish speaking would come around with herpes or like a cold sore. And then they'll start saying how they love me and how they want to know me, or someone kept saying I love her, we love her. 3. Now, what does that tell you? What does that say? If you are among a species that have obviously herpes, venereal disease, whatever, then they probably got something worse, spreading radiation. Okay? If I had a disease, I would not want to have sex with no one. Let me continue my thought. So I told you about that. Another thing else I experienced in reference to these unclean spirits, the pale skin. Okay, so that was the black Negro. Now I'll go with the pale skin. Too many times when I'm out, they were outside walking their dogs. American Senate State, you know that they gave the dogs the telepathic code. The birds. The birds around here, you know, in New York, I could tell something was different with the animals, the squirrels, the birds, because they gave them the telepathic code. They're not natural birds. They're not natural squirrels. They're not natural dogs, natural cats. They gave them the telepathic code, the same code that they gave to the population of people. And in that telepathic code, they also have other forms of DNA, whatever. You don't know what they put in it, okay? So when I'm out, I notice a species of pale skin. I'm not saying all. This is a species of pale skin, like there's a species of black Negro. They the same. The pale skin was a slave as well. It was not a slave master. On this landmass, we learned as Moorish Americans, the pale skin, or that which they call themselves white now, was the first slaves on this landmass. So they too went through experiments. They would breed them with their kids, with their daughters, the fathers with their daughters, the mothers with their sons, the sisters and brothers. They did it all. They did all types of experiments. All right, it's no different. And so still to this day, just like that species of black Negro, that's why they keep calling one another brother and saying the number 3, like they're trying to take care of one another. They the same. They are the same type of slave. So it's obviously that when I see them, so if they're the same type of slave, then you know that they have the same type of venereal diseases, the same type of radiation. You know, it's just probably not as known or as high as it is in the African American community, Islam. So I noticed that the pale skin is always trying to walk in front of me when the black Negro is not able. I'm not accepting their engagement. I can't tell you how many times a black Negro early in the morning be walking around me or in front of me or just trying to say hi. I'm like, what? You know, you don't know me. What is wrong with you? You don't know me. Why are you speaking to me? You don't know me. Why are you speaking to me? So now, and so usually a car with the word Navy on it or the MIL would drive by sometimes. Those that the police is driving by. So then I noticed the pale skin with their dogs are walking around. The dogs are barking unnatural, abnormal. They look, you can tell they are abnormally close to their dogs. So you already know what's going on with that. You know that we already know that the pale skin is known, just like the black Negro, that species to have sex with dogs, sex with animals. It's not a mistake why I had to give testimony about a black Negro trying to have sex in my anus. Literally, a black Negro invaded my dream and tried to have sex in my anus. I woke up. Now, why would a black Negro, and why would they keep sending, the pale skin keep sending like a tingling sensation around the anus? Because that's what they have sex in the anus. They have sex with animals in the anus. These are a species. This is not all. If you're not a species of pale skin, that's an experiment. I'm not talking about you. And this is keeping it 100. And so then also, they have these kids, all right? You see these little kids here. You know, child trafficking, sex slave is real. You know they are. If they are doing this to an adult, you already know. In California, they have sex trafficking laws. They already, the prostitution in California is so normal that they don't, you could be 10 years old and be used as a prostitute. It's no different here with the kids. You can tell, you already know what's going on. If they are attacking